Hello, it's good to have you join us again for, well, this is your favorite program on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Why? Because what we do is to make sure that at least this conversation that we're sharing with you every Monday at this hour, it's actually about you and how the narrative of our great country, Nigeria, is being either recaptured, rescripted, or retold. So we are at it again. This is yet another edition of the show, Close Flow, and we have yet another distinguished Nigerian with us who we are going to be asking some salient questions about how this country actually can be the best on the face of the earth. Well, the important thing that we would like to alert you on our guest is the fact that besides the fact that he's a professor, is also a multi-award winner doing one basic thing: promoting peace amongst humans. Promoting peace amongst humans. Promoting humanitarianism. Promoting altruism. Saying to ourselves that we need to take care of ourselves, just like we read in the Bible, take care of your neighbor. Because if you cannot take care of your neighbor, then you cannot say that you are actually a good, well, don't let me say worshiper, but a good believer. So we find a way to see how all that we now serve as guardrails for nation building, serve as guardrail for a secured nationality, serve as guardrail on how you as a citizen, you are actually interacting with those who have been given the responsibility of governing the nation. We will ask us, we also like to know from him, well, how impactful are some of these interventions that we are talking about? Are they really strategic for the future of Nigeria? Are they truly relevant? Are they actually not time wasting, as if trying to do some little bit of just body making rather than facing the reality on the table and attending to what the problems are? So when we navigate what the UN says about sustainable development, we look at good governance, we look at circular economy, we look at national goals, we look at how chaplaincy can be part of governance. And there are so many other issues in between all these matters, these strategic matters we have tabled here. And our guest, you get to meet him. I can tell you, besides the fact that he's a friend of the family, being a broadcaster, for doing his job, you know, in trying to interact with the public, he's also a broadcaster, he's also a media personality. You'll get to meet him. But before you meet him, let me just give you a hint of the kind of personality he actually has.
Hey, beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading page 3. Experience unlimited superfast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Experience unlimited superfast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
Yes, so we have with us Professor Christian Nwanne, a chaplain of the Christian faith, and he's here with us in the studio. We want to welcome you onto Close Flow once again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I can almost say that you're looking like you're not longer a Nigerian. What is happening? Are you jackpying? Are you relocating, or why is the feature changing?
You know, one thing, there is this ant in our place that when you see it's beautiful, the ant will explain that the reason for the beautiful is because of the heat of the fire. Because the moment you drop it in the frying pan,
yes,
you don't need to put oil. The oil comes from
the ant.
inside, from the inside.
So that's what's happening here. So the heat is now transforming you.
Humanitarian procedures and processes and inconveniences, you know, I think, you know, the years of pilgrimage.
Okay, now, but let's quickly look at what we have on the table, Christian. Now, the conversation right now would probably be critically diagnosed by the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay.
Do you think we are anywhere near meeting any of those goals? Are we in any way? Let's be frank now. We are just. I mean, you are dealing with the humanitarian issues. That means you are dealing with problems every day. So, are we near meeting any of these goals?
The truth is that if you want to talk about peace education according to the Sustainable Development
Goals, yes,
national goals, you will be talking about a process of acquiring, peace, harmony,
conflict resolution,
helping oneself.
Yes.
If you don't help yourself,
you cannot help somebody else. Yes.
If you're not at peace with yourself,
yes, you
cannot be at peace with your neighbor, your neighborhood, and this process is, is what generates to the word, peace. So, and looking at the fight of United Nations Sustainable Goal in the area of peacekeeping.
Yes.
Peacekeeping. Now, there are three things or three engagements we look into when you talk about peace engagements. Number one, talking about peacekeeping. Number two, talking about peacemaking. Peacemaking. Peacekeeping. Peacemaking. And at the same time, peacekeeping, and peace building. So you have three engagements in keeping peace. One, peacekeeping, which everybody talks about peacekeeping.
But if you don't make the peace,
peacemaking, you're not talking about peace building.
I see.
So
and
now,
these are all pillars.
Yeah, and the last engagement among these three peace engagements should have been the peacekeeping.
But
you start from making peace,
building peace
before you keep the peace.
But we started from.
This is where sustainable development, in peacekeeping is peacekeeping. But we start from trying to keep peace, where we have not made peace, where we have not tried to build peace. So I'm looking at our environment, looking at the society, looking at the nation. I think that we are trying to. We have not.
We are only trying. We have not.
Been trying.
Okay, now, Christian, another prevalent issue in Nigeria. People are asking, what we are talking about, this divisiveness, is it about faith? Is it about religion? Is it about spirituality? Or is it just plainly about worship? People just look at the God factor, just God will do it. God will do it. God forbid. Are these the issues that we are dealing with here?
Now, we have to come to the point of reality. When you are dealing with issue of peace, you have to be real. You have to be true to yourself. Now, look at it this way. When you talk about humanitarian in general, you're not talking about faith, place of worship. Religion is in quotes. Everybody has a religion.
But
atheism is a religion.
Yes.
Judaism is
a religion.
Islamic is a religion. Christian, they are all religion. Now, this is the world of religion, led and governed by one God, who gives light to everybody, gives water to everybody, mineral resources to everybody. Our president is the president of the Republic of Nigeria to everybody. The governor to everybody.
in that
Why
state.
I am passionate about community leaders is because these are people leading everybody irrespective of your faith, your worship, your language, your race, your color. You lead everybody, good, bad, and ugly. You lead all of them. Now, there must have to be a provision for everybody, you know, in peace, in sustenance, you know, benevolence, and all of that to everybody, irrespective of their religion.
Wow. Now, but this equity that you have just described now, you think it is possible or practicable in an environment like ours where we have entrenched ethnocentric divisiveness? You think it's possible?
That's the reason why we pray and hope and believe in the leadership, you know, that draws the line of equity. Leadership that sees everybody, you know, to be the same, to be brothers. Leadership that sees everybody to be brothers irrespective of the tribes, you know, religion, and all of that. The reason why everybody, irrespective of the faith, languages, and all that voted you in, you know, is for you to protect the interests of everybody. You are a leader to everybody. And in this transition, upcoming leaders must also know that they are coming up to be a leader to everybody. Just like God gave everybody certain benefits without thinking whether you are more spiritual in faith or not. These are amenities for children of God. Everybody are children of God. It's only when you now say, okay, my faith defines me closer to God than you, which is only God that understands that. But we are all God's creation.
Okay.
And all these creatures were handed over to you, both as lives and properties, to the leadership. So you have to protect everything and everybody, as God protected everybody, and allow you to be a leader, because leadership comes from God. Not actually from, he used the people to enthrone you, but he is the one that put you there. So he wants you to take care of everything, you know, that he created, just like he protects everything, blesses everybody.
No, but wait, Christian, this message, this critical message, do you pass it on to aspirants, to office seekers? Do you get them to sit down and interact with them and see if we can have like a reorientation of the way we actually see leadership? Do we get to do all that?
I've been doing that over the years. With every opportunity I have to interact with aspirants, I've been doing that every year, both home and abroad. It has been my message. In the town hall meeting we had at Alumosho, local government town hall, the DPO was there, the chairman of the local government, and all the law enforcement agencies were represented, and it was a town hall meeting, and most of the aspirants, contestants, they were there. You know, it was the same message. You know, we don't just come to town hall meeting, we brought up all the issues, and I let them know the easiest way to fight some of these issues, even to fight crime, is for us to report crime. We know all the criminals, we know what is causing the problem, we understand that if everybody here, you know, either stop the criminal or tell the criminal, I will report to you, crime will stop. So we have solution to all this. It's not as if it's difficult.
No, but don't let's trivialize it now, Christian. So are you saying the same attitude can help us stop insecurity, the way the threats, I mean, these continuous threats to national security across the country, you think this same attitude can help us to curtail it? And
we can, not only that, we can also, you know, make peace, build peace, and keep peace. You know why? The reason is because kidnappers, you know them. You know, he's a brother to somebody, he's a sister to somebody. Some people is even a member to a church. You know,
or a mosque.
A member to a mosque. You know, and all of that. He has friends, and they all know him. There are benefactors.
Yes, after he has committed a crime.
See, we know them. So if we want to fight insecurity in this country from top to the least, if everybody, that's why I say you can't make peace when you don't have peace to oneself, to yourself. You are not at peace with yourself. You know, how can you engage into peace activism? That is the issue. If we want this country to be secured, free from all insecurities, you know, we all can agree to make it happen.
Okay, now, I like that, and I think we must commend you for that. The inclusiveness, the total inclusiveness in citizenship. But now some people are of the opinion, some social analysts are of the opinion that some of the issues or some of the militating factors which cannot get everybody to have a healthy disposition, okay, that will promote peace and peaceful coexistence, could be that maybe we need to rejig our educational system. We need to look at policy formulations. How competent are we in raising some of these policies that we table and we present to Nigerians that, okay, this is how we are going and all that. Some people are even saying that we also have, we need to do massive reorientation of the citizens. We, just like you're saying, everybody.
And this is where peace education comes
in. Good.
You know, this is where peace education comes in. I think peace education is something that is recommended to every Nigerian as it is now, because most people, you may think that they are misbehaving in the society is because they are less informed. Yeah, people are less informed.
No, but maybe we should go back, Christian, just to help guide our viewers.
Okay.
Peace education, what are you talking about?
Peace education are some of those informations that will help people stay out of violence, you know, be peaceful with one another, you know. And you can never talk about peace education without talking about an act of helping one another. You can never achieve peace education in our society without teaching people, first of all, how to start helping one another at every given opportunity. Because if I see you in trouble and I help you out, what am I trying to say? I'm rescuing you so that I will rescue some other risk of inflicting and affecting others if I didn't help you out.
At that point.
At that point. So therefore, this education is an education that will be able to help people across the nation, right down to the rural areas, first of all, see one another as brothers, irrespective of faith. Help people out of their situation before you talk about, is it my tribe or is it a member of my faith? You know, knowing that if one is affected, everybody could be affected. There is this proverb in our place that says, Igbo that says, that he that sees chicken or fowl where is scattering, you know, excreta, you know, should chase it out, because you don't know who will buy it next in the market.
So it could be you.
It could be you. Because it's not your chicken,
you leave it.
But you're looking for Christmas chicken. You will buy the one you didn't chase out of. Scattering excreta.
Now, but I like what you have just said. That is trying to extrapolate in a very funny way, in a very nice way, some of these things that are quite critical on how we decide.
People think they're irrelevant.
Yes, good. So let's come to this next one. Some people are of the opinion that some of these things you have said would need to revolutionize the country. That these are revolutionary trends. That we need to make these drastic changes. Otherwise, this country, we're going to have problems.
But you know, every change or changes begins from the mindset. It starts from the way people reason. There is this orientation that traveling across the nations, you know, doing humanitarian in different countries, one aspect that Nigerians are different, that they need, you know, to clear, you know, is in the aspect that everybody is on a race of what they can drop now and may benefit from it right now. Nobody wants to engage into an activity selflessly, activities that will not end them something now, not just tomorrow.
I know, immediately.
Immediately. And this thing has fostered the act whereby people don't want to help people. What will I gain if I help them? What will I get if I pick all those dates on the road? Why not government pay for it? What will I get if I even clean my premises? Everybody must come together. But you see, the mentality of the white, they believe that if we are 4 blocks of flats here sharing the same compound, I can't just as a person, you know, bring out cleaners to clean only my section without cleaning everything. You clean, always clean. Take it as a responsibility. Whatever, if I'm the only one living in these premises, this is the easiest way to command change. Change begins from you changing yourself. When you begin to do, you know, or practice things you expect people to change from, You know, you are changing them. What manner of person is this? He will pay cleaners to clean my own, pull grasses in my own, fix remote gate with his money, do all this, pay security with his money. You're already changing them. Before you say, no, next month, don't do, I will do that. You have already commanded the change. The education
but the point,
starts from change.
Yes, but you're saying it is that starts. What is going to trigger that start, Christian? That's what that maybe that's where the question is. So what can trigger that start? Would it be leadership, or would it be advocates like you? What can trigger this start, this change that we're talking about?
Advocates, you know, helps, and they can go a longer way to help. But we are in a country that does not appreciate NGOs.
Advocacy.
Appreciate NGOs. Or non-profit, you know, agencies. They don't appreciate them, they don't support them, they don't pay them.
Because you don't bring money.
You see, so which means the problem of individuals thinking, what do I gain if I do this? The government also thinks, what do I get from the people if I must give it to them? Forgetting that this is their right. Forgetting that everything has been provided to serve these people. They don't actually need to. You need to serve them and even pay them with excesses. And until we come to that stage,
understanding.
Until that understanding, we still have no problem.
Okay, now you see what you have just said now, the flip coin to what you have said is the same question that in Nigeria we have all this self-entitlement mentality. So it's my turn, or it's my own, or it's it belongs to me, or it belongs to my community. I'm from this. So where did that start from, and how can we end it?
That pattern has to be broken. That pattern has to be broken. If it is not broken, Nigeria will not get it right, you know, in our governance today. It has to be broken. And nothing is actually anybody's right. It is on whose turn. It is God gives it to. God gives it to. If leaders, you know, are appointed by God, irrespective of who we try to vote in, God have decided who comes up to be the next leader. Now, remember what the scripture says. When a nation sin against God, God gives them a leader that is after their judgment. When a nation cry, humble themselves, cry to God, God will heal their land by bringing a leader also that will heal their wounds and their pains. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we have to come to that drawing board that leadership does not belong to us. Leadership is given to us by God. And God expects us to lead according to his own pattern. What is that pattern? You start from, you know, breaking the pattern of what belongs to me, what belongs to my ethnic, you know, and this pattern has to be collapsed, and God has to raise a selfless, not only at national, not only at zonal, house and all that, in every area of our leadership. Recently, when I come in contact with people who behave somewhat, you know, I see somewhat like my man and all of that, I see somebody say, you can pass, and the person wanted to pass, he blocked him. The other person blocked him. The one that told him to pass now entered the motor, say, I didn't tell you to park, and there were witnesses, you told him to pass. I say, is it a trap you're setting for people because you want them to pay a heavy fine? Now, and I ask the question, this is not about President Buhari, Muhammad Buhari. This is not about the governor of the state.
Yes.
This is about everybody's orientation being changed. Why? Because you are now a governor on this particular spot.
On the street.
And look at manipulation, what you are doing right at my witness right now. I was talking to the officer. So every business, maybe this started from the top or whatever, because leadership is an influence.
Yes.
Is an influence. Is a power of influence of people willing them to one direction to do one thing or the other. So when it's negative, it flows from up. You know, I cannot just change and become something I want to be when there's an influence forcing me to be what I don't want to be.
Just like what you have cited and the example you have cited here.
That is the education. That is the basis of the education. Now, and through the power of media, there is nothing we can do without you guys, without the journalists.
Okay, again, let's thank you for that, because the World Television Day was just a couple of days ago, where all of us were looking at how we can use television or education through television to be a pathfinder on how nation can be rebuilt. But let's look at some other thing that Nigerians are worried about, which again I'm sure you must have encountered. Some Nigerians are of the opinion that we have systemic and structural deficiency in the way this country is being managed. That really is the bane of why we seem to have this failure coming from the top cascading and, you know, spreading across the entire nationhood.
Because everybody has come to the point to also believe that the systems are not working. That the systems are not working.
No, wait, Christian, can you get that? People believe. Are you saying the systems are working?
No, everybody has believed. No, I mean it has deteriorated to the point that everybody have come with that consciousness, live with the consciousness
that
our systems are not working. As much as we travel across the nations of the world, doing the same thing we began in our country, in and out, because sometimes you do things where you are told thank you, even if you are not giving any.
Give us an example. So where did you go to that? Somebody, you did things for them and they told you thank you.
For instance, I went to Africa.
Cote d'Ivoire here.
Yeah, we did training on peacekeeping and how people will stay at peace, because it's a headquarters for Francophone countries, and whatever we do there spreads across the French, countries. For instance, let me tell you, from arrival, not as a governor, from arrival, there was a diplomatic vehicle from the government picked me right from where I was stepping out, from the flight. There was a red carpet down to immigration. There was a police biking up to 50 vehicles down to where they put me, where I lodged, and all of that. That is the extent they appreciate and encourage humanitarian work. Places like Methodist Church.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and all that. And you go to social media, our pages, and it was so massive. I have the clips on my phone here, and it was something else. I dropped tears. No, this is country we have not engaged into this same activity. Less than 2 years is recognizing your input that way, but we have done it from Nigeria. From 2004 till now, we are still powering, struggling to pass the same message, to effect changes. It looks as if you are pouring water on the stone.
Now, okay, I don't want us to give up because already you have
we're not giving up.
Yes, we cannot be too pessimistic. So we are going to borrow your brains and the fact that you have gone around the world. So we would like to see if you can situate or resituate some of the things you have witnessed in other locations across the globe and see how that can be copied and pasted in Nigeria. We'll be back. So stay with us. Our prof is not going anywhere. He's still here with us, and he's going to, of course, face your questions, face your queries, face your comments. And if you think that the humanitarian work he's doing is not good for Nigeria, maybe you should tell him so that we can relocate it to Cote d'Ivoire. Maybe that's where you want to head to. Okay, stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
We must dilate the eyes. We look for if they have cataract, look at the back of their eyes. They have glaucoma. We do a full workup for them.
You will remember the government should actually open their eyes, especially southwest of the state.
We're going to be looking deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes.
It manifests as physical support. And
every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday, every week here on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
All right, thank you for staying with us. This Close Flow coming to you from NT2 Lagos Network Center. And we still have our distinguished guest in the house. Just before we went on that break, I told you the conversation is about you. And so we'll expect you to please call in and join us in the conversation. Let me quickly reel out the telephone lines so you can be a part of this conversation. I hope I have the telephone lines here. My producer here has gave them to me. I hope these are the right ones. Okay, if I'm not sure, I will maybe give you that telephone line later so that we don't send you on the wrong errand. Now, our chaplain, just before we went on that break, gave us the impression that in some other countries, the kind of humanitarian outreach that you're doing, these efforts are being appreciated. Whereas back home here, we seem to have a challenge. Now, where do you, how do you, now, okay, from your experience, yes, how do you want to capture it? So how do you describe it?
Like in South Africa.
Yes.
Like in South Africa, which we in South Africa, which we spend time in South Africa as much as Nigeria, between Nigeria and South Africa first, dwelling between Nigeria and South Africa. In South Africa, you see, every shop, like the way you have ShopRite, you have Spar, you have Chicken Report, most of these, big companies, all of them, Jubo, Cash and Carry, name it, all of them are made, the government, in fact, is a rule that anytime you receive a letter from NGOs going for food outreach, grocery outreach, clothing out, you must respond. They can't say no. You write a letter, you need clothing, and it's a clothing company. As long as you have the license to do that, they release clothing free of charge, account to the government.
But that is also possible in some other countries like UK and some European countries.
Yeah. In different countries, they're like that. I experienced it first in South Africa for almost about 10 years, consistently. Wow. You can write at a non-profit, write to them, write to ShopRite, they give groceries, write to food company, they give you, as far as they're taking care of humanitarian, they support that. And European countries, US and all that, they do the same. But back home, you have to, not only that you have to raise the money to do that, you have to work and use your allowances, use your salary, so your gift, everything, and squeeze in there to let your vision to live. As if the vision is living for yourself. The vision is not living for yourself.
Yes.
You deprive your family, deprive your loved ones just to take care of people. Your joy is that you're fulfilling the assignment. Your joy is not because anybody is supporting you and all that. And sometimes some, good Nigerians who are philanthropic, once off, nobody can be consistent in trying to help because they know even the government does not help. So when example comes from the leadership, I solicit that the leaders, the upcoming leaders politically should also put it in their gazettes to be able to help, NGOs, non-profit fighters and humanitarian workers to be able to carry out these responsibilities. They have the burden, they have no resources. And like those who have the resources, they don't have the burden.
So that's like an agenda, a political agenda for us. So we must actually tell these office seekers, if you know that you want to connect with the people, these are some of the things you should do.
Connect the people through the people who understand the heartbeats of these people, who can get to the grassroots. They have been doing, when somebody is proven doing this selflessly, using his resources, whatever you give to the person could also go far. Not releasing money to somebody who don't have a template.
Who doesn't even know. Okay, all right. The numbers to reach us quickly so that you can also be a part of this conversation. To call us and to hear his sweet voice, you call us on 080-5975-53. Let me say that again. 080-5975-3044. 080-5975-3044. Or to SMS us, just in case we are experiencing drop calls, send us a short message on the 080-6350-8434. 080-6350-8434. Otherwise, just go to your WhatsApp and drop us, a message. The WhatsApp line 080-2038-4130. 080-2038-4130. Let's have you to contest with him. He says humanitarian works can actually change our political direction. Well, I'm not sure yet, but let's see if you can be convinced by what he's saying. Now, because of your international exposure, I'm sure you're already conscious of the global, trajectories of development, economic prospects, and all that globally. Now, for unstable nations like ours, where we are facing all sorts of, instabilities, insecurities, all manner of, how do we fit into that pattern, that trajectory of growth that you are seeing globally?
All right, so do you know, the reason why, when we talk about investment and development,
Yes.
we start from treating insecurity. Insecurity primarily affects development, affects investment, stops investors not to come in. Of course, you know, the president of World International Economic Group,
Yes.
which is spread across 200 nations. I am their president, Nigerian president of WIG. I set up the structure here. And out of 200 presidents of WIG across the nations is a business and humanitarian humanitarian organization, you know, somewhat like United Nations, but theirs is primarily to the grassroots. Now, I scored first among all the 200 presidents of WIG, you know, which got me the promotion as World Vice President number 8, which no African has attained, you know. So we set some responsibilities, humanitarian responsibilities. I don't know, I was in Brazil, you know, on humanitarian project. My picture was all over social media. I was nominated as Vice President 1, World Vice President 1, as well as Nigerian President.
Yes.
So why did I say this? WIG is investors' hub. WIG has not less than 200 investors that each of them can even invest, let me not say, not less than $30 million into this country.
If the environment...
Yes, if the environment is safe. So I'm not just saying what, I'm saying what I am into the system. And the government, you know, in a place we call, you know, the hub of investors. Of course, we try to, you know, collaborate and speak with NIPC, Nigerian Investment.
Yes,
you know, we've done no less than 4 sections. You know, they are also expecting the investors to come. Why they couldn't come this year was because they needed this transition to know the government that is taking over in 2023.
Yes.
They have fixed a date already in July 2023, whereby over 50 investors will be coming into this nation because their structure is here, not because they trust the government. Because there are humanitarian people they believe that can communicate their message home and account for their investments. Now, where there is insecurity,
how do you want to do that?
How do you want to do that? So it affects development. How could people be at war when they know that, you know, they might not even be sure they will get home after being in the site to work? So the insecurity affects investment, affects investors, investment and development of any country. So this is what we have to fight first.
Okay, that's a great one again. Now let's come back to the question of Africa. Do you have a caller? No? Okay, let's come back to this question of, now you have given us now some kind of pathways. You are saying to us that socio-political milestones must be accomplished.
Yeah.
Yes, we must find a way to overcome all the sense of insecurity, instability, and divisiveness. We have to give the entire world the fact that Nigeria is a prosperous or prospective nation.
Yeah, they need that indemnity to come.
Now, okay, now, if we are going to create that indemnity, which are just tabled now, how do we do it? Can it be done by the citizens or by the political leaders or by religious leaders like you or by who? Who will now help us?
Our contribution is just like, our contribution is just giving a platform to be a voice, you know, to be a voice, to say some of these things, to communicate, you know, to the leaders, seizing opportunity to communicate to the aspirants, you know, and the leader, there are PAMSEC, there are offices that are not contestable.
Yes.
Those offices, the PAMSEC influences whoever that comes in and all that because they understand the patterns. So you can also collaborate with them and help them see how they can be able to change the pattern with the upcoming leaders, you know, through the PAMSECs and some other, you know, uncontestable positions that are in the country. These are some of the ways. And another thing we must also engage into is engage into the like the outgoing system, for instance.
Yes.
The remaining time they have already, if you watch at, you see President Muhammad Buhari have been doing certain things he has not done, even some other, you know, because I believe too he wants a new Nigeria too. We want to hand over to leaders, you know, who either continue where he started or do what he has not done.
Yes.
You see some statements he made concerning, you know, people who want to play some pranks during the election and that are being challenged, you know, in different media. spaces and all of that. So it's proving that he's showing Nigeria that I want free and fair election. I want good governance. I want good leaders, to take over from me and all of that. But in all of this, we need the media space to be able to communicate to our leaders, that the reason why investors are afraid of coming into the country, which affects development, infrastructurally, and all of that. And okay, look at agriculture.
Yes.
You see what is happening in agricultural section is dropping low because people cannot freely go to.
It's going south.
And all that because of what? Insecurity. So this message needs to be communicated to a leader using your offices, your space, and all that. I believe Nigeria will be better.
Christian, yes, hello. Christian, what we call Hello, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Yeah. I'm greeting the Chaplaincy General. I say well done to him.
Oh.
And how can one be a member of the Chaplaincy? How can one join your group?
All right. I don't know if I'm permitted to.
No, you can tell us. They can get to meet you on your social media platforms.
Okay, yeah. DICCI in all social handle. In all social handle, DICCI-CORPS. We are on mobile app, we are on Instagram, we are on YouTube, we are in all social handles. So, however you communicate to us, we'll get your message. We'll put you through.
Okay, I hope you got that. Go to the social media handle and then make sure you make contact with him so that he can feed you on exactly what you need to do to become a member of that group. Now, but what would let me also borrow from him. So what would the membership give me?
The membership will give you, it can be, because what we are doing, you are a marshal in what you are doing. We can make you a special marshal.
Really?
Chaplain special marshal, yeah. So you are using your office, and I give you one or two orientations that will help use your office also to do a lot, because you are more privileged than a lot of us. Because
you're talking to the public.
You're talking to the public. Yeah, so we can do that.
Okay, that's a good one. So we'll now see how we can get media operators to also lock into what you're doing and then get Nigeria out of where we are right now. Now, one other factor, or some other factors, which we should play up with in Nigeria. Some people are saying we should look at the question of age factors because Nigeria has the largest. Okay, we have a caller here. 1 second, Christian. It says, well done, sir. How can I become a member of your group? Okay, I think it's the same person. I think that's what you answered just now.
Oh,
okay, but just for the sake of our viewers, just say it again, please. So so.
All right. To be part of our group, at least the care centers and those and social media, our directors of media and all that will put you through. Just go to mobile app, Play Store, put in DICCI-CORPS-CORPS, DICCI-CORPS. You can download the mobile app, ask your questions, they will put you through. The website is the same, DICCI-CORPS.org. And in all Googles, just type DICCI-CORPS. All our social handles will pop up. Anywhere you drop your questions, we answer you and put you through. Thank you.
Great. So it's DICCI-CORPS. It's not NYSC, the CORPS. This is DICCO. Okay, so just go there and get it right. Now, some of these factors that people are saying or projecting that we should use to change the narrative of Nigeria will be one, age. Nigeria has as it were, the highest concentration of young people, yes, in Africa or probably even in the world. 2, gender impact, that we are not actually buying or locking into the capacity of women
getting engaged
economically and the social space. So do you think these are the factors that we need to change these stories that we are talking about?
Yeah, we need, you see, one thing is that most of the nations hire our female genders, hire our youths, who are experts in so many areas, like our doctors. Our doctors are all gone.
Yes.
Our surgeons are all gone. A lot of them are all gone because they are appreciated less, or not even recognized in their own country. Now, these are also youths. You know, these are also youths. Nigeria have multi-talented youths. Multi-talented, super talented youths. Look at what is happening in social handle today. You know, who will believe that, you know, embassies of different nations can give somebody a visa they denied them before based on, I am a Facebooker. No. What do? I'm a Facebooker. Because the millions is there, the money is there, the effect, the job, he's committed to his job. He don't need your country to stay in your country. He's also surviving in his own country.
Yes.
You give him a visa to go and do the same thing there, return back and all that, which they have created jobs for themselves. Nigerians are talented. Our female genders are super talented. They should be engaged into the politics and governance of the day. That is.
Okay, all right, that is where the future leads us. Now, there's another question again raging, especially on social media. Some people are saying, can Nigeria be listed as one of the countries in the world that, some of the countries in the world that are ready for the next and most profound industrial revolution in human history? Can Nigeria be ready?
The Nigerians are ready. Let me not see if Nigeria is ready.
So some citizens are ready, are primed.
Okay, let me see. If you say Nigeria is ready, you know, which means both the system, systems, structures, and the people,
citizens, yes.
and the citizens. But when you say Nigerians are ready, so irrespective of whether the system is ready or not, Nigerians are ready. But the head of these systems are also Nigerians. And I do believe that even politicians who aren't doing well are tired of not doing well.
Yes, so they want to change the story.
Nigeria today.
Yes.
In fact, if you are not impactful, if you are not producing, if you are not result oriented, if you are not result producing, I don't think you will be comfortable to even be a politician. They are doing everything they can to deliver, doing everything they can to change the narrative. So Nigerians today want to change Nigeria. Nigerians today, both the past politicians,
yes,
see some of them are in regret.
Yes.
Coming to support any move, policies that will help a change they never effected in the past. So Nigerians are ready, including those at the top down to the list. Nobody is comfortable with the way Nigeria is going. So Nigerians are ready for a change.
Okay, thank you for that again. That's very optimistic. We hope that we can see that on the street level. Another issue that is on the table is that end-to-end mutually beneficial relationships amongst all the constituent entities in Nigeria. You have said Nigerians are ready. So end-to-end mutually beneficial relationships. Can we promote that? Is that possible? Can we see that growth? You've mentioned agriculture just now that is going down south. So how do we see this end-to-end benefit in our relationships as constituent members?
Well, first of all, we must agree and accept, you know, the reasons to relate.
As Nigerians.
As Nigerians.
Yes.
First of all, that is the basis. We must relate as Nigerians. I tell people, you know, being an apostle, or some call it a pastor, being an apostle, then at the same time as a humanitarian worker and all that, and chaplain. You know, first of all, I don't relate with people just because they are Christians. In WIG, World International Economic Group, which I am today the world vice president,
yes,
you know, the founder is a Muslim. The group of the presidents are Muslims. Those that promoted you to end that office by merit, as they said, by merit or by hard work, they are Muslims, not Christians. And those that gave me the opportunity, even as a Christian, as a pastor,
to express yourself,
as a pastor, to express myself, develop myself. Today, international membership and global development runs across my table. They believe whatever I say. You know, they are Muslims. So it is possible.
It's not about faith.
It's happening around me.
Yes.
It is possible. You know, but then competent, capacity, all of this we are announcing is important. Integrity to this commitment is important. It's possible. We have to preach it. We have to preach it. We have to promote it. We have to believe that it can work. And I believe it works.
Okay, all right. We submit to that your presentation that yes, it's going to work. Now, what we need to now find out will be this. Now, looking at the new transition that we are preparing for, how best do you want our citizens to begin to table what they expect, their expectations? Are those expectations realistic? Are they themselves even responsible enough to expect or to declare that they expect this kind of changes from these leaders?
Like what I said before, like in the basics, basically every citizen expecting good governance, infrastructures, water, this and that, agricultural, boosting agricultural support. It is their right to expect that. You understand? They have the right to expect benefits.
I like that. It is their right.
It is their right to expect benefits. They are beneficiaries. Those in the leadership, they are benefactors. Now, what they are expecting is their fundamental right. Good road is their right.
No, Christian, are you saying this is the same perception across the globe?
You know why? Yeah, it's the same perception. Why? Because, you have, like places like Kuwait. There are countries that pay salaries, to people. It doesn't matter what you do, irrespective of what you make, for yourself. What are their mineral resources? The same thing you have.
Oil.
You have even much more than what they have. You even have, unexploited, exploited, mineral resources.
Yes.
Which, so, therefore, the nations who are paying allowances, like South Africa, for instance, they give bursaries for you to go to university. So you can't drop out, being an intelligent child, and drop out because you don't have anybody to train you. No. So in South Africa, you're intelligent, you want to study, government give you bursary. While you're working, they're taking it small from your salary. Just South Africa here, within Africa, So within Africa, they are more privileged. Why? Because it's their right. They have diamond. They have odd stones, gold, and all that. That simply is telling you that it is your right to go to school, fine, but we are giving you a support system so that you don't drop, because we need your, intelligence. We need your talents. So therefore, we sponsor you. When you are responsible to yourself, we are taking it gradually as tax. Until you can't even feel it, and then we take, the school fees back again. But not somebody not going to school because he has nobody to. No.
And it's on the street.
No, the leadership should be responsible to ensure that their people are tutored, that were trained, and give them the benefit for them to survive. Now, banks give, like in Brazil. I was in Brazil
recently.
I made some research. I realized that if you run your account consistently for 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, without collateral, they can give you millions. They can give you 500,000 of their money, which is equivalent to maybe $200,000 or whatever. They can give to you to trade. You don't need collateral to do that. And if you pay,
this is Brazil.
I'm in Brazil here. I'm seeing something that is proven. Something that is proven. So you could, and most of Nigerians I saw that they say even when they earn the money, when they earn the money or leave the country, come back again and all that, at a time they wipe it out. They see that you begin to, they will even beg you, come, pay us 10% of the 20% of this, then you clear your history. You can still take again. Why? It is their right. They see it that this is the right of these people for us to support them until they stand. And foreigners who are residents, who they permitted to be in their country, are also enjoying the same benefit. How much more our own citizens.
Okay, well, Christian, my producer is saying to me that if I leave Christian here, it's going to take us till the next campaign. And, well, maybe what we'll do, I will plead with my producer, we have to find time so that we can revisit some of the locations you have been to and some of the things you have been able to do, like what you just shared with us from Brazil right now.
Remember humanitarian this in 3rd of December.
3rd of December. 3rd of December. Okay, so we'll find a way to see if we can highlight that.
4 Point by Sheraton. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll look at that. Now, for our viewers, I'm sorry, maybe you didn't get the telephone lines correctly, but I do hope that by the time we return next week, you're going to join all the conversations, because just like our Chancellor said here, it is all about you. You have a right to be a citizen. You have a right to expect the best from your country as a citizen. But if you don't know how to do it, if you don't have a sense of being at peace with yourself, you cannot be at peace with your neighbor, and that can be a big challenge. Thank you so very much for coming, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. We hope to have you again. So until next week, it's never over on Close Flow. Go to all our social media handles. Go register your own opinions or your impressions and share with your friends so that also all of them can then join the next train of conversations. Thank you for watching, and it's bye for now.